Hi, my name is Mr. Johns and welcome to Dance and Drama Matters. Today's question, how do I vary my movement? And that's vary, not very. Like, how do I have very good movement? Who knows? Am I a very good mover? No. Alright, so last week we spoke about making dynamic contrasts in our movements by changing our energy. And that's a really great way to vary our movements and make our dance look interesting. But, drum roll, there are other ways to do that as well. I can teach you other ways to make your dance interesting by varying your movements. So as we know, there's this thing called the elements of dance, and we summarize them as best stars. So body, energy, space-time, relationships, and structure. So we've got those 6 different categories. And today we're going to spend a little bit more time looking closely at space and time. So remember, space is where you dance, but it also refers to your levels. So think levels are like low, so you're dancing low, medium, so you're dancing at like a midpoint, and high, so you're dancing up high. Low, medium, high. Yeah? Makes sense, right? Like levels. The size of your moves, so whether they're really small or whether they're really big. And the technical words for those are micro movements, so really small micro movements, and macro movements, so really big movements, you know? Like all the big things. And space also talks about the direction you move, so where you're moving on a stage and what that looks like. So time is all about when you move, but it also includes tempo. So whether you're moving slowly, whether you're moving fast, whether you're dancing to a structured beat and there's times to follow, or whether your body's moving organically and you're flowing and you're following a different time signature and you're moving without following a set count. Alright, so now it's time to warm up. And you've got to copy me with this, because if you don't copy me with it, then it's just you watching me, and then people will think that I'm crazy and that I'm weird, more weird than I already am. So just do it, and it's a cool warm up, and you'll learn a little bit about what we're going to do. In the warm up, pay attention to how we change and we play around with our levels, our size, and our tempo. So with this first one, you're slowly climbing a steep and rocky hill, and then when you get to the top, you start running down the mountain. That one didn't work as well as I'd hoped. For this next one, you're a fly buzzing around the room, and someone sprays you with bug spray, and you gradually slow down until you eventually die. It's a sad life of a fly. Let's just all spare a minute to think of all of the flies. Just want to be really clear, there were no flies harmed in making this video. Disclaimer. For this next one, your hand has taken over your body, and your body has to follow it wherever it leads. For this next one, you're a tiny worm, and then a witch casts a spell and you turn into a giant python. For this next one, you're lost in a desert and you've eaten all of your food and water days ago. For this next one, you're escaping from prison and you have to escape through a tiny hole in the wall, but tiny enough so you can fit through it. So for me, quite big. And our last one is you're dusting a shelf with really expensive plates, but then you knock a plate off and you have to pick up all the pizzas? To pick up all the pizzas? I think it's dinner time. You have to pick up all the pieces from the floor. Alright, so our learning intention for today is we will explore ways to change our movement. And we're going to do that by learning a choreographic device called abstraction. So abstraction means that we're going to change a pretty normal movement into something that represents our movement or idea. Rather than it being really literally, like eating a bowl of cereal, we're going to abstract that so it represents eating a bowl of cereal, but it's not literally eating a bowl of cereal. It might look a little bit different. So we can abstract our movement by manipulating the different elements of dance. You've actually already done that by manipulating the energy when you were creating dynamic contrasts. So, well done you. I've got nothing else to teach you. You've graduated university. You've learned everything. Go and dance. Be happy, be merry. No, don't. Stay here. I need to teach you more things. So I said a word called manipulations. So I should probably explain that a little bit more. So when we're manipulating things in dance, it just means that we're changing it. So we're changing it to look more interesting or to convey our meaning and our message a little bit better. So one of the things you can manipulate is time. So when you manipulate time, you're actually manipulating the tempo, and you can make slow movements into fast movements, or vice versa, fast movements into slow movements. You can manipulate the size, so you can go from a small movement into a big, large movement, or you can go from a big, large movement into a small movement. It really depends on what message you're trying to convey to your audience. The size of any movement can have a really big impact on the meaning and the message that you're trying to convey to your audience. And the last thing we're going to look at manipulating today is space. So we can do that by changing our levels, changing our direction, and changing our spots on the stage. So your task today, and what you need to do, is take an everyday movement and abstract it by manipulating the time, the size, or the space. So how you can be successful is you can take an everyday movement and find a way to perform it differently. Some examples of everyday movement, if you can't think of some things that you do every day, might be to walk the dog. Or if you're a really good baker, you could bake banana bread and send me some banana bread because I love banana bread. You could be vacuuming the house. You're welcome, parents. I got you. I got your back. Or you could even be typing an email. I'm going to choose typing an email, and I'll show you how to abstract that movement by manipulating the time, size, and space. So this is what my movement looks like normally. And if I was to manipulate the time, I could do this. Next, I'm going to manipulate the size of my movement. It's already a micro movement, so I've made it into a macro movement. And the last thing I'm going to do to abstract my movement is to change my space. Now, it's your turn. So you need to create your dance. Remember, you can be successful by taking an everyday movement and finding different ways to perform it by using the different manipulations. Make sure you're remembering to manipulate your time, your size, and your space. Awesome! Now it's your time to perform it. So find someone to perform it to, and it's a really good idea, remember, if you film it, because that way you can look back over it after you're done, and you can see what you need to improve on. Were you able to abstract your movement? And how did you do it? What was the hardest part? Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you next week. Bye!